Hi everyone, it's Giselle with a message for today. And I want to talk about the reason why we have had to have time apart. Of course, time apart is in quotes because really we are not apart. Energetically, we are always together. And I want to share a little story about something that I went through very recently. And this has confirmed to me so much more how valuable it is to have time apart. Firstly, I want to talk about a client that I've been working with. Well, several clients, but one particular story where the client really understood the value of being separated in quotations, of course. We're not actually separated. Energetically, he can feel her so much more than he ever used to. So they have grown closer energetically and therefore will reunite very harmoniously. But admitted that they are not the same person that they were when everything happened, when the separation took place. And that certain situations the other person had to finish karmically themselves. Because I do this, and a ton of other people I know do this too, is as the more in tune one, well, it's not really right to say that because they are also in tune in their own way, but I guess because we are very aware that we are on this journey, we would consider that we are consciously able to understand this. So, as the one who consciously knows what's going on, we want to help them so much that we often step in to save the day, but it's not really saving the day because it's, if you consider it being like an examination that they have to sit through in order to pass, it would be like you going in and saying, "Oh, hold on, I'll take your exam for you. You don't need to do anything. I'll do it for you." But that doesn't get them to pass. Who's passing the exam? You are, not them. So they'll have to resit it again and again until they actually do. So you are just going to have to get out the way and allow them to pass their exam, which is why the illusion of separation has been put in place so that you can allow them that room to grow. I know with mine, whenever I would ask him, when we were separated, how come we can't be together now? I don't understand it. I feel so ready for you. And he's always said to me, "You wouldn't want me when I'm not ready." And that's true. And, I've had that reiterated to me even more last night when I was talking to someone else. I was talking to a very misaligned person who had a lot of past wounding and couldn't detach from his last relationship. He was very hurt and was looking for love in all the wrong places. And I made it clear that I am not his energetic match because I've already found mine. But he was so adamant that we had so much in common, he wanted to stay friends, but there's no point. I said to him, "Look, energetically, we're not matched." I couldn't say to him, "The reason why I can't be friends with you is because you're energetically really draining me and are so negative that I really had a bad night's sleep because of it, because of our conversation." And he even admitted that at one point, he felt his energetic match with him in spirit, and she would never compare to a woman walking this earth. And I did say, "Well, it's your energetic match reaching out to you. I don't feel she's physically here. And if she were to incarnate, you would be 40 years apart because he's already nearly 40. and she's not even born yet. So if she was to be born, they'll be 40 years apart. And he went, well, do you know what? I can't be bothered with any of that. I think I'm going to die in 2 years anyway. I thought, you see, this is the negative energy that I'm talking about. I can't be friends because it's just too intense, and I I wouldn't want that to interfere with my energy on a daily basis, you know? Have to be cruel to be kind, and this experience has taught me that I have to speak my truth. I used to shy away from telling people exactly what I thought of them because do you know, I'm such a direct person. I'm sure you would know this from me when you've had readings, you know. I never sugarcoat anything because that's not who I am. But when I'm breaking connections, I wasn't even really connected with this person, but he just thought I was a very interesting person because I'm into spirituality and what he thought was very similar to him. But when I looked deeper into his energy, you know, superficially you would think, oh, we're both into meditating and into discovering spiritual things, law of attraction, all that. But when you peel back the layers, he's got a ton of work. 'Cause he's got this deep rooted hatred for his ex, and he keeps bringing her up. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, you know, this is just, you've got a lot of work ahead of you. And so I in the past would have really shied away from these breaking off these connections. I would have wanted them to disappear on their own. But of course, when I'm being primed to be more of who I am, I can't do that. So I couldn't ghost him anyway, but, you know, I tried to let him down gently and say, look, energetically, we're very mismatched. And he kept going, oh, but we've got so much in common. Well, that's just a superficial thing. We don't actually have anything in common. Really. You know, it's like saying that everyone who likes the color blue has something in common. It's really stupid, you know? Yes, you may have that in common, but everything else would be off energetically, definitely. So I've had to become more truthful to who I am, align more with my higher self, because she wouldn't ghost people or, you know, ignore their text messages until the other person got bored instead of, you know, do you even want to still be friends? I've just had to cut the cords right there and then and said, look, it's not going to work. And really, not that I'm not looking for friends, but if I'm going to add more friends to the friendships I currently have, they are going to have to be in alignment energetically. And, you know, very unfortunately for this person, I know they crave friendship and ideally were looking for someone to date, which that definitely wasn't going to be me. I couldn't be anyone in their life. And because of his sort of nervous, well, he had a breakdown. Basically, he broke down twice whilst talking to me, and through that experience, I understood more clearly why my beloved had to stay away. At the time, I couldn't understand it. I thought, my God, I'm so ready for you, and surely you must be ready for me. Not that he would have been breaking down in front of me all of the time, but this shows me a glimpse of that really painful time that they've had to go through in separation. You know, I get things shown to me through other people, and I get glimpses of the painful baggage that they've had to deal with, the fact that they've been deeply hurt by an ex, and that when we first met, they weren't ready to build something with me whilst working through that anger, you know? And they've had to work out the karma on their own. So now I'm being shown how difficult it was, and that being separated is really a blessing in disguise. I hope that this message helps you, if you're still in separation now, to understand. Like, just as I didn't want to be even friends with this person who was showing me all these things, I wouldn't have wanted to be with my beloved in the state that he was when we were separated, because he would have had to go through a lot and we would have been energetically misaligned. I know that I went through a lot of stuff myself. And this is why his message is always rung very true to me. He said to me, well, energetically, when we first separated, you wouldn't want to be with me right now. You wouldn't want to be with me in this state. But I am growing. And I am going to be the person that you deserve because you deserve the best. And this is the message I want to share with you. So if you're going through anything like this, being in separation and thinking, why the heck can't we just be together now? Just trust it. I mean, I've seen so much from this person that I just couldn't be friends with. It really resonated with me that was a glimpse of how things were for my beloved when we were in separation, because it was unbearable. The energy was just so bad. I mean, for a man to break down and cry twice within an hour, just talking about random things, that's very unsettling. Not even my clients would cry as much as he has. It's crazy. But yeah, I feel that this connection was made. It was a very brief connection. I wasn't even looking for anything romantic with this person. I just somehow, a connection was made to show me these things, but I had to break the connection today because I thought, you know what? The energy is just too intense. And I am progressing in my life. I don't need a friend, if we were to be friends, to drag me down energetically. And this is why a lot of old friends have fallen off, and I've had to let go of old connections because not everyone resonates anymore. Luckily, I've made new connections, but I have had to let go of quite a few old ones. But that's what life is when you grow spiritually, You're just not going to resonate with your old life, which sadly includes people from that old life. I hope that this message has helped you. If you would like to connect with me, all my details are in the description. I will be doing a new moon offer shortly for 7 days during the new moon period. It's probably going to be around middle to end of next week now. Also, my prices will be changing in July. If you would still like to buy any bundles at my old rates, please do. You can always pre-book them and use them at a later date as well. And I thank you all so very much for watching. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.